Tape's effect on goggle leakage. Background of the experiment. I am a swimmer and found problems with the equipment, especially goggles. Goggles leak a lot and I wanted to fix that. About the experiment. I asked the question, how does tape affect goggle leakage? I wanted to see if sewing tape would prevent goggles from leaking. Research. Goggles can be fixed by boiling and remolding them. This can cause them to break. Certain gels have been made to prevent goggle leakage. I believe that it would be easier to use tape. Hypothesis. Goggles will leak less when bigger amounts of tape are applied. Variables. Dependent variable. The amount of time it takes for the goggles to leak. I tested the goggles 5 different ways. Control and 4 different tape lengths. Independent variable. The amount of tape applied to the goggles. Exact measurements were made for 4 pieces of tape at each tape length. Control variable. Goggle shafts were always the same length and were tested with the same amount of movement and pressure. I followed a routine and dived to a certain depth in the pool. Procedure. Steps 1 through 3, I wore goggles and jumped in the pool. During steps 4 through 6, I started the stopwatch, dived 10 feet, squinted 3 times, and came up to the surface. During steps 7 through 9, I repeated steps 1 through 7 until goggles leaked. Time was recorded. Steps 1 through 9 were repeated at a max of 1 minute unless goggle leakage occurred sooner. During steps 10 through 11, steps 1 through 9 were repeated 30 times. Next, 4 pieces of 3 cm tape were placed on the goggles. During steps 12 through 14, steps 3 through 9 were repeated 30 times. I then repeated steps 3 through 9 with 4, 5, and 6 cm tape 30 times each. Data. This is the data table. Each column is labeled, one for control and the rest for lengths in centimeters. At the bottom are the averages and standard deviation. Graph. The y-axis shows the average time in seconds. The x-axis shows the length of tape in centimeters. The arrow bar represents the standard deviation. Observations. The bigger pieces of tape were harder to get off, but also adhered to the goggles the best. The control and 3 centimeter trials didn't have very different averages. Most of the data within a trial was spread out. For example, in the control trial, the goggles leaked within 11 or 18 seconds, so I added the standard deviation. Conclusion. The data supports my hypothesis. Tape length does affect goggle leakage. The larger amounts of tape prevent the goggles from leaking.